Hey patrons, I am back with an update. Just finished doing a video about the current fire situation here in California. I am safe. I'm in the Bay Area, which is about 150 miles away from the car fire or campfire. I can't remember which one's which. We have so many fires, and they name them the one in Chico in Paradise. Anyway, it's truly horrific out there. My only problem is with the smoke inhalation. We've basically been stuck inside the last week, and it sucks, but I've got my air purifiers running. I have somewhere I have a gas mask, not a gas mask, a particulate mask. There it is. It's pretty nice. So I'm okay. The only problem is I don't have one for Indy. So, you know, he's basically been stuck inside and he's going nuts. I was supposed to fly out to New York on Friday for this thing. Pangburn philosophy had a day of reflection they asked me to be a part of. I got this. I'm gonna start at the beginning. This video might be long. Sorry. I got this email of like a month ago, maybe a month and a half, from Pangburn Philosophy saying, we're having this event called a Day of Reflection. We have previously held events with such luminaries as Richard Dawkins, Sam Harris, and Jordan Peterson. And I immediately was like, this is a joke. Like, there's no way. Someone wrote me this email. And they were like, we would like you to be on a panel called, has #MeToo gone #TooFar? And it would be me, Cara Santa Maria, Barry Weiss, the New York Times editor who wrote, all I knew about her up until then was that she wrote an op-ed about how Kavanaugh should be on the Supreme Court even if he maybe tried to rape somebody. And some other woman I'd never heard of, but she wrote a flattering bio of Margaret Thatcher. So I was like, there's no way. I'm not, like, this is ridiculous. And then the other thing, well, I didn't know about the other panels, but I later found out that the other panels for that day were like the racist and Muslim versions of that panel. So like, I don't remember what they are offhand, but it was just like, are black people too uppity? You know, it's just like so fucked up. So I was going to say no, but then I decided I'll just ask them for a lot of money. And then I'll go there, I'll say no to the question, and I'll donate money to RAIN. And I was going to do like a matching thing on social media maybe. So that was my plan. And they agreed. Like, they agreed. At first, they took forever to respond to me, so I thought that maybe they decided that they didn't want me because I was asking them for too much money. And then they agreed, and so in the meanwhile, I had tweeted mean things about them because, like, come on, I got to make fun of the fact that they opened by saying that they like hosted Richard Dawkins and Jordan Peterson. So I dragged them on Twitter a little bit, but then they were like, yeah, we'd love to have you, like a week later. And this is a couple of weeks before the event. So I was like, okay. So I deleted those tweets. And then I agreed. They were like, okay, you book your hotel and flight. And I was like, okay, but you have to send me money for those things. I'm not just going to be out of pocket on it. So I like I was like, what hotel? And they never responded. So I had to look up where this conference was happening. And then I just picked a hotel next door. And I'm like, this hotel? And they were like, okay. So they PayPal'd me the money for the flight and hotel. And I'm like, but it was like an e-check. So I'm thinking, you know, it takes a couple weeks to clear, like a week to clear. But like we were 3 weeks out from the event and prices were going to skyrocket. And I did kind of want to bankrupt them because they seemed terrible. But I didn't want to spend too much money because, you know, like I don't know if if this is a scam still. Like, I thought this might be a scam, like an elaborate hoax to make me fly to New York for no reason. So I booked the stuff. Luckily, the PayPal stuff clears. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then I start hearing, like, they announce that I'm coming, and then people start complaining on Twitter, not about me being there, but about the fact that apparently this day had an entirely different lineup. And then they changed the lineup and they put ticket prices at 50% off, but they didn't give anybody refunds. And they didn't even refund the 50% off for people who had bought full price tickets ahead of time. And I don't feel too bad about any of that because I feel like they're awful people doing awful things. Like, it has hashtag Me Too gone hashtag too far? That's not a question anyone should be debating on stage. If you want to have a Me Too debate, have people talk about the subtleties of, I don't know, the difference between hashtag Me Too. I don't know what you mean by I started. Oh my God. Nobody's talking to you, Siri. Oh my God. Start talking about, talk about the subtleties of using the hashtag to talk about rape versus sexual assault versus harassment, something like that. I don't know. Something interesting. Not an obvious question. Has it gone too far? No. Brett Kavanaugh he's getting confirmed to the Supreme Court. Like, a woman he tried to rape is being harassed. Like, she's had to move 3 times. No, it hasn't gone too far. Give me a break. So I didn't feel bad for people who had agreed that this was an interesting conversation to have and bought tickets for it. But I do get that you make mistakes. So those people should get their money back. So I was like, I have to go though. I agreed to go and I'm just planning to take their money and say no anyway. So who cares, right? And then I started talking to Kara about it and, she fills me in on like this back end stuff that's going down where like all of the people, including Barry Weiss, are very concerned that nobody's getting paid. Apparently, Pangburn had some other event in New Zealand that they screwed up where nobody got paid and like the event didn't even happen or something and there were no refunds. Just like a clusterfuck. And like nobody was getting their flights and their hotel stuff. So people start dropping out. And like on Sunday, I actually sat down and I fucking researched Barry Weiss. I read her horrible op-eds and they are truly stupid. And I was starting to kind of look forward to it because I'm like, this seems like somebody I could probably dunk on. And I'm not even good at I don't do debates. I think debates are pointless. But in a panel situation, I can't imagine this is going to go poorly for me. So I was kind of looking forward to it. I was looking forward to seeing Kara and some other New York City skeptics and stuff. But then Barry drops out. I find out from PZ Myers on Twitter. I was like, oh, that doesn't bode well. She was the only person whose name I recognized besides mine and Kara's. So then a few hours later, I get this email from Travis Pangburn saying, "It is with a heavy heart we are canceling the day of reflection." And I'm like, all right, well, that was a big fat waste of my time. My fault, I guess. I mean, I knew that this was going to be fucked up in some way. I was hoping it would be fucked up in the way where I got a free trip to New York out of it. But, what are you going to do? So, sorry to any of you who are in New York. I would have loved to have hung out, but it's not going to happen this time. If anyone knows any real organizations, by the way, the entire organization has gone under now. It's not just the event is canceled. Everything's canceled. They're done. So I'm kind of glad I had a part of that. Because they seemed awful. They, right before it was canceled, I looked at Pangburn's Twitter feed and he had posted some video where it was interviewing some Nazis, and it's a screenshot of a guy Sig hailing. And I'm just like, wow, you're awful. Like, truly awful. Nobody needs to interview Nazis. We know what Nazis are. We know they're out there. We know what they think. How do you feel about the Jews? Oh, you still want them dead, huh? Great. Good to know. Good. We've all learned a lot today. It's like, no, it's not necessary. So, yeah, I'm glad they're gone. Sad I'm not going to New York, but yeah, that's it. I am going to be in LA next week, but only for one day for Thanksgiving. So no events or anything. But I have been thinking about doing a Quizotron in LA, maybe early next year. So stay on hold for that. Maybe we can have a meetup or something for those of you in LA. If you are in LA or in California, please be careful. Be safe. That's what today's video is about. Also about whether or not it's our own fault that we're on fire. Spoiler alert, no, it's not. Yeah, but be safe, guys. All right, I will talk to you next week. Bye.